Hello, grand setting, everybody. How are you doing, my fellow Pan-Africanists all over the world, my fellow African Americans who are leading us in the fight? How are you doing? I hope everyone is okay. My brothers and my sisters in Africa, how is the motherland? I hope you're fine. My fellow Black brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, I hope you're doing amazing. My fellow, who have I not said hi to? I hope I've included all of you, and if I haven't, just now, I love you, and I'm concerned about your waking up because you Christians read the book of Revelation, but you don't know that it's already happening right before our eyes. So ignorance is no longer bliss. Ignorance is now a painful loss. Now in this age that we are living, it's called the age of Aquarius. You have to learn. I don't want you to believe everything that I say, but I want you to go ahead and do your research, okay? So they talked about some Alama. Go and research what Alama is, and it has already been administered, but it's not too late for us. You know, we can. The Bible says, or maybe the fact is that the herbs are for the cleansing of the nation. You can detoxify the toxins in your body, and I don't know how to say it, but you need to wake up. Like, you really need to wake up. So I wanted to talk about this KWANZAA in honor and response of my elder Mabonga Joshua, Farmers of Thought. And I'm also a student of life. I don't claim to know everything. So I'm also doing research. I have a notebook here. I have written a few things about KWANZAA. And some of us thought that African Americans do not like Africa. They don't like us, because that's what the media told us. And the African Americans were told that Africans don't like you because at the end of the day, we have been ruled by divide and rule. Religion has divided us. Muslims don't like Christians. Christians are divided into several small denominations, which of course the head churches are usually in the West and in Europe, and we send our own offerings and tithings over there. But unfortunately, it was not meant for our own good. Instead, we have been dampened and we are headed to extinction. The only thing that has come to our intervention is because of the grace of the black gods. I was a staunch Christian before. I used to pray to the Christian God, but now I proudly stand here with no fear, favor, or shame to proclaim that I worship the God of my ancestors. I wear this because this is a message. In Europe, I walk with my head like this with pride because I know my roots. I come from a great ancestry. My ancestors built the pyramids. I have done my research, and the Nilotes and the Bantus came from Egypt, not from Congo Forest, as they told us in our history books. And it's high time we stop just believing. Now we are in the age of Aquarius. We used to be in the age of Pisces before. Our ancestors read the sun, the moon, and the stars, and all these ages, the nature, the position of the sun, the position of the moon, it helps us to know the direction of our lives. And now we are in the age of Aquarius, the age of knowing. We can no longer believe what the conqueror told us about us. So African Americans have been in this fight to reclaim their African heritage. And this KWANZAA is a holiday celebration that was created in 1966 by a pan-Africanist who is African American, and it's supposed to be celebrating the African culture. And because we are used to copy pasting and being just taken over by whoever conquered us, we have left our culture and we copy the white culture. Millions of you all over the world bought gifts this Christmas, and you put it under some tree of which we never heard such. We don't cut trees for no good reason. But because we are copy pasting a culture that we think is superior than ours, now we cut trees just for the sake of putting gifts under the dead tree. Anyway, and you told those your children that the gifts were given to them by Santa. You have been enslaving and working for a whole year to raise your money, and then you buy a gift, cut a tree, make it to be dead, and then you put a gift and lie to your own child that this gift was given to you by a white man in a red hat and a white beard. It's sad how we are lost as a people. As a mother, it hurts me. You know, we go through so much to give birth to you, our men. But black men, you have let us down. Because women do not commit so much crime on this planet. Women take care to nurture, they tender, but the rapes are done by men, the murders are done by men. Most of the robberies are done by men. We need you to heal the black nation. Once a black man gets some money, they will go and marry outside the black race. And poverty has affected our women. And because we have been accustomed to this new concept that was introduced to us, our ancestors never used to cut trees for no good reason. But when the conqueror came to Africa and saw the trees that we heard, the trees that our ancestors had taken care of for a very long time, they decided to make use of it. So they decided to cut down the trees and make paper money. They made books, and in those books they wrote and told us that we were savages and we were nothing and we have not contributed to anything. And now they are in our graves in Egypt digging up the ancestors. But we cannot say anything because we are scared. We are weak mentally, physically. We are weak. We don't believe in ourselves. Can you imagine 100 years down the line, you're dead, and somebody comes to dig your grave because they want to study and research on you? It sounds gross, but that's what we are doing to our ancestors, and we are keeping quiet. 1966, Maulana Karemga. Yes, I got the name right. Is the one who started this holiday where African Americans celebrate their African roots. So I'm calling upon all our black brothers and sisters all over the world to be able to join our great army of African Americans. And thank you so much, African Americans, for loving on us, despite the fact that you were lied to, that we sold you. I know the story was ugly, but part of what I know is that millions died in Africa. The families were ripped apart. Some were lied to and given that paper money after trees had been cut and printed, and they could have sold. But most of the time, people were just separated and forced to live. And their children, women cried, women were broken, men were taken away to fight in the world war, a war that never belonged to them. And things happened to us. But we can remember our history and it's sad, and that's why we have this red that reminds us of the millions of tons of blood that has been shed ever since that happened. So we need to heal each other. We need to listen to each other's story now. Africans to share with African Americans, and African Americans to share with Africans. Africans in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, we have been hurt. All of us are going through serious trauma. People were lynched. Young children were given to alligators for lunch. Masters raped their slave women in front of their husbands, and husbands were lynched in front of their women and children. So much was done. But we need to heal our nation. It's critical now because we are in the time of the prophecy where the old earth is living and the new earth is coming. And if you have not read the book of Revelation, you need to go and read it and know that the things that were told there, they've already happened. And so if you were part of the people that partook of it, because it said that many will be deceived and they partook of it. So if you partook of it, you can detoxify your body. And ginger and lemon is one of the most powerful blood cleansers. You can use that. So KWANZAA celebrates our African roots. We remember our ancestors. So it normally starts from the 26th of December to 1st of January. You can still give yourselves gifts, but we are being discouraged from the lie that Santa Claus bought the gifts. So instead, you're supposed to use these colors. You have one black candle. You're supposed to use 7 candles. You have one black candle that represents the people all over the world where we are, the black people. And then you have 3 candles that represents the blood that has been shed. And then you have 3 candles that are green to represent the hope in the future, the hope of the greenery of Mother Africa, the hope of the gold that is still in our soils, the hope of the oil that is still in our soils, the hope of stopping to raise slavery generations, the hope of everything bright for all of us. That is the green color. And every single day you rise, you light. Is it you lit or you light? One candle for that night. So you celebrate by singing. If you have a story, you can tell about how great our ancestors were, about the foods that we used to eat, about, all those things. Do your research. For you to be able to share that with your children, at least you need to do your research. Google has a lot of information, so please make Google your friend. Also, there are many books that have been written by black scholars. Go and get them. Storytelling, dancing. What else? We used to have those proverbs that our ancestors left. Wahenga, walinena. Then you share it. You share our story as a people, the migration story, where we started and how we traversed the world. You tell it to your children. That is the KWANZAA. So I'm not forcing anybody to accept what I'm saying, but just go do your research. That Christmas is all about white culture, because at the end of the day, it's about the economics. You're going to buy those jumpsuits. Is money you're giving out. You're going to buy those plastic trees. Who owns the industries that are making those plastic trees? Is them. You're taking your money away. This is December. And then in January, you have to pay to their school system again for your children to go to school. Is money going away? So we have 7 principles of KWANZAA. The first principle is umoja. One thing that has really made us fall as a nation is that we don't unite. We don't support each other. So please, from today, Start supporting you people who are in business, support black businesses. And then don't see ourselves as separate. We belong to one parent, all of us, the black nation. And then we have kujichagulia. Let's learn to have the power of choice. You know, you don't have to follow other people's cultures because they're doing it. Learn to practice your own power of choice. Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Most of us, we have grown to be irresponsible because we were told that there's someone who's responsible for our wickedness, and that person is called Satan or the devil. So please take responsibility for your actions. If you have given birth to a baby, take care of that child. If you need to, you have some land, take care of your land. Be clean, you know. Poverty is associated with dirtiness. Once you start cleaning your place, there are some evil spirits that are going to leave, because we are not just bodies, but we are spiritual beings, you know. So to be able to attract positivity and progress in your life, please try and clean your places. Also, the quotes say that cleanliness is second to godliness. So if you want to be a godly person, if you want to be closer to the Most High, you need to be clean. So try and clean your environment. Ujamaa, that is cooperative economics. That's what I was trying to explain about who owns whatever you're buying. You want to buy expensive drinks. You want to buy anything and everything that is imported. But you don't want to buy anything and everything that is local. But at the end of the day, where is the imported money going to? So try to keep the money within the family. That's what other races are doing. Nia is purpose. There's a quote that says, there are two most important days in this life. The first day is the day you were born, and the second day is the day you find out why. And how you find out why you were born, look at the most problems you're having. Learn how to solve them. Once you learn how to solve them, teach other people. That is your purpose. But the other world was teaching us that problems are trouble and we should kill ourselves, we should trouble ourselves. No. That is your training, that is your lesson. Pain is always a lesson that is packaged in a way that should help you learn something. So try to look life on a positive lens. Try to learn from whatever pain you're going through. Kuumba, creativity. So I have a problem with black men always cheering on the Messis of this world. Is not bad, but you've been a football supporter for 10, 15 years. What about your own black son? Have you tried to teach him how to be the Messi, the next Messi, the next black Messi? Let's have many little black Messis within us as well, you know. Support creative talent of our children, support the creativity of our children. Education is not the only key to life. Support is the key to life. Love is the key to life. We were brought up with a lot of pain. Kuchapwa kila wakati. When you go into school, beating. We used to keep our hair, and they put a pen like this. If your hair is a little long, they cut it. It was an attack the system put on us. Hair is spiritual. Go and research it. We need our black hairs back to be able to connect to the universe. Then the last pillar is Imani, faith. Most of us who are in Africa, before you travel to the rest of the world, you will not know how blessed we are. Right now, there's nothing that is growing in the farms here. People produce food in the laboratories. But in Africa, you have food 24/7. We need to have faith and hope that things are going to work out for us because we are blessed. It's only the problem that Our African presidents are sellouts. But we can do something to help ourselves within our circle, because our presidents are never going to help us. They've already been paid billions and billions for years ahead to keep us in oppression. But we have to rise within our own circle and help ourselves. Help your wife, help your husband. Stop killing each other in marriages. Stop involving your children in the fights that you're having within your marriage. If it's divorce, let it be peaceful. No need for death in terms of divorce. If it's marriage, why should we wear the white gown? Do you know that that's just white culture to show that white is more superior than black? Why should we wear black to funerals? We have to stop doing those small things that we do, that we are cursing ourselves without knowing. Wear purple. It doesn't represent any human being. Don't wear a color that represents your own people to a funeral to show that you're sad. Black does not mean sad or evil or wicked. Black is a divine color. Even when a child is born, it has to be hidden in blackness for 9 months. When someone dies, death is not the end of life. We reincarnate, we come back. It's a divine place where they go before they are able to reincarnate or to be able to ascend. That's why whenever someone dies, we say, don't worry, they're in a better place. We say these things, but we don't know what it means. We need to do our research more. And we who are Christians need to stop cursing and just try to learn and understand people and just accommodate people. Me, I love you as a Christian, but many of you have started to hate me because I confess my ancestral worship. Why should you? If you think you're going to heaven, be happy, rejoice for yourself. If I'm going to hell, it's between me and my God. So stop the judgment. And for those who want to be African, panafricanist, those who want to reclaim their roots, you're welcome to join the rest of the few days that are remaining for KWANZAA. You can celebrate, share our greatness with your children. And if you have any question, leave it in the comments. And if you ever care, you can share so that other people can also get this message. Thank you very much. I can see 3 people watching. And for me, even if it's just one person, it means the world to me. So thank you so much. Kute. Thank you so much, Chuka and Gianni. Thank you. I appreciate you. I know sometimes that Facebook doesn't show other people who are watching their names, but if you're watching and I didn't show you, say your name, it's because I did not say it, but know that you are very much appreciated. So kindly go ahead and share. Thank you. Good night.